All right, good morning. This is Nicole Whitlock with eCom Sellers. This is the daily eCom planning session. My passion is helping people on their e-commerce journey, hopefully get organized, get focused, get consistent about their business. And so if that's you, we'll talk about how we can connect later. So the first thing that we're going to do is today's topic happens to be Amazon Handmade versus Etsy. So I don't know if you're doing handmade or not. We're going to look at some comparisons between the two. Then we'll get into the daily ecom planning session. So, if you have not ever pulled down the daily ecom planning checklist, I invite you to go over to the eCommerce planning Facebook group, go to the files section, and you can pull down the daily, weekly, and monthly ecom planning checklist. Again, go over to the eCommerce planning Facebook group. It's an open, free Facebook group. Join it, look at the menu, click on files, and download the daily, weekly, and monthly planning checklist. We are live on Clubhouse. We're also live in the e-commerce planning Facebook group at this time. And so, like I said, after we go through this topic, then we'll go through the checklist. So this list, it's a short list today. It comes to us from, I believe, Shopify. Shopify did a comparison between the two. And so we're going to talk about the pros and the cons, or the differences between Amazon Handmade and Etsy. So yeah, this comes to us from Shopify. So you can go and look at it yourself. But in any case, the first one is the difference between the two is that Amazon Handmade has a bigger reach, meaning they can get to more customers. A lot of people go directly to Amazon where they're looking at products or looking for products to buy. And so if you have a handmade product, you definitely have a bigger reach, a bigger pool of potential customers on Amazon than you do on Etsy. But that Etsy has lower fees, and that's a good thing. Amazon has a lot of different fees. And if you've sold on Amazon, they have referral fees, and then they also have other fees. And then if you're doing FBA, they get some more fees. So yeah, there's some differences between them. The other thing is that if you sell your handmade products or those things that you make yourself on Amazon Handmade, they give you a free professional plan, which is awesome. That is, the referral fee still exists though, but getting a free professional plan once you get approved for Amazon Handmade is actually a really good deal. Whereas on Etsy, with Etsy, you actually get a little more analytics than you do on Amazon. The one thing that Etsy will give you is if you want to know how many people visited your store per month and where they came from, you can get that analytics directly from Etsy. You can't get that from Amazon. And so that's the difference between the two. Then with Amazon Handmade, they say there's no listing fees, and that's true, but they got all those other fees. Etsy does have listing fees. They're not terribly expensive, but they do exist. Whereas on Etsy has a lot of different ways in which you can, both Amazon and Etsy have campaigns that you can do advertising. So you can do that on both. But they have more flexibility on how you can target some of your customers on Etsy than on Amazon within Etsy's ecosphere. So that's something to think about. With Amazon Handmade, Amazon does compete with its own sellers. In other words, if Amazon likes the product, and we've known this for years, you wouldn't be surprised if there is a Amazon version of the product that comes out if the statistics about that particular product come out. Now, because it's handmade, is Amazon going to take the time to go and make something? I don't know. Like if there's something they could massively mass manufacture, yeah, maybe. But with Etsy does have recurring fees. Your listing fee, your monthly listing fee that goes with your Etsy account. So something to think about. As I said, with Amazon Handmade, Amazon does have higher selling fees, and we know that they do. And with Etsy, not all types of items can be sold, and that is true. You have several different types and categories, more than Amazon. No, Amazon has more than Etsy does. So they also, they have some items that you may not be able to sell on Etsy, or there's no category for it. With Amazon Handmade, there is an additional application fee, application approval, not fee. So once you create your Amazon selling account, you'll have to go through and apply for Amazon Handmade. And then once you apply for it and then you're eventually approved, then some of the other benefits, kick in. But again, you do have to go through after you create your selling account. You have to go through and apply for Amazon Handmade and get approved. And with Etsy, there's no FBA or fulfillment services option. So whatever your method is, if you're creating it yourself, you're fulfilling it. Now, can you put some stuff in place yourself? Yeah. You can use a third party. Yeah. But again, they don't. There's an Amazon FBA centralized warehouse that will get your product over to your customer. So again, this summary comes to us from Shopify. It wasn't bad. There's a couple other things I would add to it, but I think that this is a decent summary of the differences between the two. So if you're thinking about doing Amazon Handmade, or you're thinking about making something to sell on Etsy, this is something to think about for 2023. So I hope this is helpful. I hope you'll tune in for the next series on the next verses, and we'll look at the platforms, and then you can make some decisions on what makes sense for you and your e-commerce business for 2023. And share this out with a friend. Let somebody else know about it so that they can come and tune in as well. So we do invite you to turn up the dial on your e-commerce business and get laser focused by grabbing the 2023 e-commerce planner. It was created for sellers by sellers. It is the ultimate e-commerce planner. You can grab it at myecomplanner.com. Again, myecomplanner.com to get your 2023 e-commerce planner. So go and grab that today. And if you want to schedule a free 20-minute coaching session, you can go to ecomsellers.com, click on free resources, and schedule your free 20-minute coaching session. Go to ecomsellers.com, click on free resources to schedule your free 20-minute coaching session. If you're looking for some support in 2023, you can join eCom Sellers Academy. It's terribly affordable. It's $17.99 a month, or you can pay for the lifetime and get a free e-commerce planner. Again, you get a lot of free stuff. You get a free retail and online arbitrage leads list, a free wholesale list, and free live weekly training in addition to a live Q&A. So there's other perks as well. So you can join eCom Sellers Academy. Go to ecomsellersacademy.com to go join today. So now we're ready to go through the checklist. So if you didn't go download it before, this is your opportunity to stop, go download it, or you can get your notebook if you have your own notebook where you're keeping track of what you're doing in your business on a regular basis. So we can go through the daily e-com planning checklist. It is so early for me. My son did not sleep last night. So in any case, if you're looking for an accountability check-in, if you want to continue the conversation after we go through the checklist and talk about Amazon Handmade or Etsy, or if you want to discuss anything else, you can definitely join us over on Clubhouse. We can continue the conversation there. Let's chat about your business or chat about anything else you want to talk about. So you can go over to Clubhouse for that. All my alarms are going off. I forgot to turn them off. So in any case, let's go ahead and get into that. I didn't realize there was an alarm on this phone. It's so funny. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Nothing like having a child who won't sleep, y'all. Nothing like it in the world. All right. So the daily e-com planning checklist. There's 3 things that we mainly cover every single day. And your daily activities contribute to your weekly success and your weekly progress. And your weekly activities contribute to your monthly success and your monthly progress. And your monthly activities contribute to your quarterly success and your quarterly progress. All of that contributes to your success for the year. So hopefully you've either participated in the weekly planning session or the monthly planning session or the quarterly planning session. If you've not, I encourage you to go back, find those, listen to them, and get going so that you can make the kind of progress that you're looking to make in your business. So at the beginning, like the goal is for you to be intentional and be consistent about what it is that you do in your business. So there's some things that we recommend that you do the night before, some things that we recommend you do the morning of, and some things that we recommend that you take a look at for, future planning, that advanced planning, some things that might impact your ability to sustain the momentum that you're working to build in your business. So the first thing is the night before. What are we doing? The night before, what we're going to be doing is before we go to bed, we're going to go through and assess or rate or review our day. We're going to get out our ecom planner if you have it, or if you don't, grab your notebook and you're going to write out what your progress was for that day. How did you do that day? What things did you get done? What are the things you didn't get done? What was on your to-do list? Did you make progress on? What are things you need to move to today? What are the things that you need to move to next week or next month, depending on what they are? So go through and assess and review your day. Again, God gives us 24 hours in the day. What are you doing with your 24? Hopefully you're getting some sleep, at least 6 to 8 hours every day. And if you are, that's fantastic. Me, I would love to get more sleep, but my son won't let me. Um, but in any case, what are you doing with the time? And if you're one of those people that finds yourself trying to figure out what progress you did make at the end of the day, then maybe building out a daily schedule is going to help you to get more focused. So go through and assess how you did yesterday or the night before. The next thing is to update your daily tracking stats. Your daily tracking stats is the one thing that will tell you what kind of progress you're making in your business on a regular basis. How many listings are you creating? How many sales did you get? What was your profit? How many orders got fulfilled? A lot of the baseline metrics that are going to help you to determine where you are in your business, that important data is going to help you to determine what your progress is. So go through and update those metrics. We have them all inside your e-commerce planner. In addition to that, we encourage you to review your online calendar. What meetings are coming up for tomorrow? What appointments? So you're going to look at your personal, your business, and your work online calendars for tomorrow. Let's go through and see if there's something that's coming up so we're not surprised about it and we're not reacting to our schedule or our surprises tomorrow. We're prepared for them. The next thing is to draft a version of your schedule for tomorrow. It can be an outline or it can be extremely detailed. If you're a person that's fairly organized and you have a fairly consistent routine that you've established, then that's great. But if you are, so that you can maybe jot down maybe your top 5 or top 10 things you want to get done tomorrow. Because again, if you've got an established morning, afternoon, and evening routine and you're very consistent and all you need is a little bit of a checklist so you know where you stand and where things, what progress you're making, then, you don't need to write out a detailed schedule. But if you're a person where time gets away from you and you're always trying to figure out what happened, what did you get done? Why is it that not making the kind of progress you want to make in your life and or in your business? You probably want to write out a more detailed plan. You can write it out in the form of a schedule, or you can write it out in the form of a checklist where you group together activities for the morning, the afternoon, and the evening. So you can do that, and that may help you. Again, for those people who are really organized already, write down a detailed schedule. It's not necessarily something that maybe makes sense for them. Maybe just adding some additional highlights for your top 5 for the day. So go through and build out your schedule for tomorrow, the night before. Now, the morning of, we're going to go through 5 things that we suggest that you do. In the morning of, we're going to go through and we're going to review or reassess yesterday. The reason we're doing that is because Sometimes when we review things late at night, we're tired, we're fatigued. So when we get a good night's sleep, if you get a good night's sleep, when you get a good night's sleep, you can wake up refreshed and energized and ready to go. So you can go through and add anything that was missed, anything that you overlooked, anything that had gaps. So you can go through and you can add that stuff to your schedule and to your plan. So that way, in the future, it'll help you to build a better schedule. You'll start to notice over time patterns as you start to add things to, the next morning from your review. So the more inclusive you are about your schedule as you kind of review the week before, then that helps you, or review the month. That'll help you to build a better daily schedule in the future. Or you'll start to notice patterns that maybe you never noticed before. Number two is to review and update your weekly priorities and your weekly habits that you're working to track. So your priorities are, what are the highlights for this week that really need to get done no matter what? They can be personal, or they can be business, or they can be a combination of two. So what are the priorities that need to get done? One of the things that should be a priority is ordering any inventory that you need to order from China. Because again, the Chinese New Year is coming, and they may start the Chinese New Year earlier because of the fact that they're dealing with COVID over there. So this is your opportunity. You need to remember what your priorities are for the week. If you didn't define them, you need to figure out what are the top things you need to get done. It may be ordering inventory. It may be doing some research for a specific holiday that's coming up. It could be any number of things. Finding a new supplier for your white label product. Like, it could be anything. But what is the top priority for this week? So, and then it could be some personal stuff. Like for me, it could be, taking your kids to the doctor, or scheduling an appointment with your insurance guy to see if you can get lower rates. Like, that might be the priority because you want to save some money this month or this year. So what are your priorities for the week? What are your top 5? And then what are the habits that you're tracking? These are habits that you're tracking actually for over a 30-day period. It's not a singular week habit that you're tracking. The other thing is looking at your monthly plan. What are your goals for the month? What are your top priorities for the month? Going through and looking at what those priorities are for the month to determine what were the activities you were going to engage in for the week so that you can make progress towards those monthly goals. So go through and take a glance at your monthly plan. Then the next thing is to review or rewrite your schedule. So you drafted it last night. Now it's the morning and you're about to kickstart your schedule for the day. What changes do you need to make to your schedule? What do you need to make? What changes do you need to make to your plan? What's the main thing, if nothing else goes right today, that you need to get done no matter what? So go through and update your schedule that you drafted, and make sure that's an inclusive schedule. It's not necessarily about work-life balance or work-business balance or work, whatever balance. It's about life balance. Your business is part of your life. If you work a job, your job is part of your life. Like, all of that is part of your life. If something would happen to your kids in the middle of the day, you would definitely drop work to go deal with your kids. So again, it's all life balance. So how do you take all of the hats that you wear in a day or in a week, and how do you balance them all in your life, make them all work together in your life? So make sure that you're including as many things as possible that maybe have nothing to do with your business. Once you've kind of reviewed your schedule, and if you need to make any adjustments or updates to it, and you rewrite it, then I would suggest that you read it out loud, speak it into existence, so you're ready to go for the day. It's sort of like manifesting the activities that you want to get done for the day. It also wakes up your subconscious mind to hand it over to your conscious mind to say, okay, we've been thinking about the schedule all night while you were sleeping. So this is what we're doing today. So that as the day continues on and you find yourself getting derailed, with those bad habits, then your subconscious and your conscious mind will work together to bring you back to center, bring you back to your schedule and your routine, so you can actually make the progress that you're working to make. So go and, review your schedule and get prepared to kickstart it. here shortly. Get your train on the track so you're ready to go for the day. The next one is to write out a preliminary draft of the schedule for tomorrow. So go and build a preliminary schedule for tomorrow so that way it's sort of an outline. You'll re-review it tonight and you'll finalize it tomorrow morning. So just write out a draft. The last thing is to think about those things that are coming up that may disrupt this routine that you're working to establish. It's the beginning of the year. There's a lot of New Year's resolutions for different people, and they get started doing something and then they fall off the wagon. They start it and they stop. They start it and then they stop, and there's always something. And so the goal is for you not to do this in 2023. Don't stop, start, stop, start, stop, start. The more consistent you are about following your daily routine, and the more it'll become a habit. And so it'll be second nature. So there's some things that you do in life that are just second nature. You don't even think about them. Getting up in the morning and washing your face and brushing your teeth has become a habit. You did it since you were little, and you wake up as you get older and you just do it on autopilot without thinking about it. The same thing with establishing routines. When you first start doing it, it's not a routine, it's something you're forced to do. And then over time, it just becomes part of your daily routine. What we're working to do is to establish some consistency in your life. And so, what are those things that are going to come along and derail you? What are those things that are going to stop you from being consistent? If the one thing that you do is you work your business in the mornings and you schedule a doctor's appointment in the morning, well, that's going to disrupt or interrupt your ability to stay consistent. And so, the thing that you need to do is for those days where you're not able to schedule your appointments in the afternoon. First of all, you should always schedule your appointments in the afternoon. Make sure you blocked out some time. Let your family know, hey, this is my working time. So that way, or give them something to do. One of the things I used to do is give my kids activity boxes because of the amazing Miss Victoria, but giving my kids activity boxes so that way they would stay distracted or busy so that I could work for an hour or 2 hours. So put some things in place so that when those distractions come along, there's a potential solution to allow you to stay consistent. But if that doctor's appointment has to be in the morning, there's no other option, then what you need to do is you need to make adjustments for the afternoon so that way you can at least maintain your consistency around the progress you're trying to make in your business. If one of the things that you want to do is create 5 listings every day and you've been doing really good, you're going through 2 weeks of creating 5 listings every day, and something happens, the thing that you need to do is see, okay, I need to move this activity of creating 5 listings every day to the afternoon. So at least I can sustain or maintain that consistency of creating the 5 listings every day. Even if it's not in the morning, at least continue that habit of consistency and creating listings every day, no matter what. Or maybe you modify it for one day from being 5 listings to 1 listing. Again, you're still maintaining that level of consistency around creating listings. You just have to reduce the volume momentarily just so you can continue. So, what are those things that are going to come in and disrupt you, interrupt you, stop you, throw you off your game, stop you from being consistent? Put together a game plan for those things. Don't be caught off guard. Put together a plan where you can. Emergencies, you can't do anything about that. Like, emergencies are just going to happen. And you have to figure out how to get yourself back on schedule because of emergencies. But excuses are a different thing. Your child being sick, that's understandable. So if one of the habits that you're working to build is to exercise every day, your child is sick, they have a fever of 102, of course you're going to take care of your kid. Your child is the priority. Again, this is part of life balance. So maybe if the child is feeling better a little bit later, then maybe you get in a 15-minute walk. So maybe that messes up your morning routine of going to go work out. But if you can get a 15-minute walk in, that's fine. Do that 15-minute walk outside, then come back in, continue taking care of your child. So at least you still continue to exercise. You just may not exercise as long as you normally would, and you're not exercising in the same place. It's a minor disruption. So put things in place. If exercising is one of the things that you keep falling off the wagon on, then put together a nighttime routine that allows you to be successful in the morning so you can keep that routine. If being consistent in your business is one of the things that you are, falling off the wagon with, then put together a nighttime routine of building your schedule and reviewing it before you go to sleep, putting together a game plan for success tomorrow, And then that way in the morning, your subconscious and your conscious mind can work together to help you stay on track. So I hope this is helpful. I hope you use this to help you in your business. This is the daily ecom planning session. And my name is Nicole Whitlock. My passion is helping people on their e-commerce journey, helping them to get organized, get focused, get consistent in their business. If that's you, I'm here for you. You can schedule a free 20-minute coaching session anytime you like. You can definitely join eCom Sellers Academy at ecomsellersacademy.com. And you can grab the My Ecom Planner, which was created for sellers by sellers, by going to myecomplanner.com. And with that, I hope that you have an amazingly blessed, extremely focused, and highly successful day. And again, this is the daily ecom planning session. So we're still live on Clubhouse. We'll check you out over there. Have a great day.